This is Theo Bruton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback. Right, and take us along with you. Always remember that you can do that. We're here on a Monday after Mother's Day. So for all of the moms out there, happy belated Mother's Day. My name is Theo Bruton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host,
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
Absolutely. Want to say good morning to Sister Fedora and to Barbara and to who did I think? Morning to Carl Williams. Where are you? We've been looking forward to you coming. You remember those of you who used to listen to Carl and Hassan who were here. And Hassan has passed away, but we're looking for Carl to join us. Anyway, any day that he's available. Thabiti.
Yes, good shout outs and belated happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Also, I'd like to say shout out to Sister Jackie, Sister Ruth, Professor Griggs, Brother James Ford. And as always, ask everyone, because we're going to have a lot of information today, have your pen and paper handy so you can write it down and rather than commit it to memory.
Absolutely. And now I want to let everyone know that we have a young scholar here with us, 3.9 GPA, and her name is Megan Hughes. Happy Monday, Megan, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we ask our new guest, who is Megan Hughes?
I'm Megan Hughes, and I'm a 13-year-old girl in 8th grade.
Mm-hmm. and with a wonderful GPA, and you have been experimenting and experiencing, I guess I should say, wonderful opportunities. You were in a debate club at school, and you had a chance to go to some colleges on a college tour, I should say. Tell me, how did you enjoy the college tour?
I enjoy the college tour by exploring new opportunities and just the system that goes on there. The college that I was granted to explore was Central Central University and Wilberforce University.
Yeah.
They're both in Ohio. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Quite near each other, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is great. Now, what is your favorite subject, if you have a favorite subject?
I love this question. So,
Okay.
sorry. So my favorite subject would be history.
History.
I love history because it gets to like teach me about people who have walked before us and just exactly how we built our way to now. But I'm mostly fascinated by old literature.
Okay, old literature?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now, what is old literature for old man?
Old literature for old man?
Yeah, well, I mean, what would you call or classify as old literature?
Basically, literature that has been spread throughout history. For example, Pride and Prejudice. 1984, and others.
George Orwell, 1984.
Mm-hmm. And Animal Farm.
Animal Farm. Oh, okay. You read Animal Farm in 1984. All right.
I had a chance to read that also, but not at 13 years old, so I'm just letting it be known. And then it's a very good book, too, because as I recall, I don't remember it well because it's been over 10 years, but I know that there was one animal who was pretty much trying to run things. You had all the other animals who were coming in, and it was supposed to be, as far as I can recall, a reflection on how actual society works. But of course, the animals, you can't feel any kind of animosity towards them because they're animals. They don't have racial identities or things like that. Mm-hmm. Now, in going to those colleges, do you have a major in mind, or that's something that's a little bit further off since you're still young?
It's okay. It's something that I'm still exploring because I believe that what I'm trying to do is based on what job I want to, what field I want to be president in. It should be based on what university I go. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Oh, do you have a particular job in mind?
Somewhere in social science, or at least a job that encourages farming, culture, history, just something that can nourish the earth, as my presidents still say. So.
Oh, wow.
I kind of like the idea when you say nourish the earth because I believe in, number one, recycling, okay? A lot of people don't look at the earth as what sustains us. They just look at the earth as something that they live on.
Yeah, something to conquer. Yes. So that's, I think that idea has been spread out to colonization.
Yes.
Colonization.
All right.
And how it basically created a concept of how we should be treating the earth because remember, our culture, like especially the Native American culture, has been taught to like the earth as our parents. So.
And that's absolutely true too, because most what they would call indigenous or aboriginal people look at the earth and they worship it. They worship everything in it, whether it's the plant life, the sun, the stars, as well as animal life and sea life. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you used the word colonization because, and I say this quite a bit, and I don't say this with any hesitation or biting my tongue at all. Western civilization has looked at the earth as something to conquer. And I remember when I was in high school, they spoke about conflict in maybe 2 or 3 different contexts. Man against nature, man against himself or each other, and then there was another one. But when I say the man against nature, everywhere that Western civilization has gone primarily, they have knocked down trees. Obviously, they got rid of different cultures along the way, decimating some of the people. So I like the idea that you think in terms of that. Maybe we can go to a quick break, engineer.
All right. And we'll be back momentarily.
And everyone else, you stand by as well.
I'm James Ford, founder of the Obama Weekend, and a partner of the Hood Research Team, composed of the knowledgeable Theo Broden, the super analyst Henry, and the colorful Al Martin. This team discusses politics, seen and not seen, at the national, state, and local level. But to enhance the goals of this team, join or donate to Hood Research by visiting Twitter or Facebook, or visit hoodresearch.org, or call 248-234-2371. You can also join Hood Research on Phonecast every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 978-990-5000, access code 338729. Thank you very much.
Oh, and we are back. And there was something that I heard about a few days ago, and that when it comes to McDonald's as an example, the company has spread itself all around the planet. In this country, we have numerous additives into the food items that are sold there. But when they're sent to Canada and other countries, they have maybe 2 or 3. So I begin to wonder, well, what are they trying to do to us? Those of us who do go to McDonald's, which I don't, but anyway. I wanted to ask you what you think about the type of music that we're forced to listen to these days. The rap music. I want to know what you think about that.
About rap music?
Yeah, about rap music.
Personally, personally, I'm not a fan, not a huge fan, because I tend to keep myself away from that. But I just think that it's all started to be used as a comfort or a way to use our voices. But if you're talking about the violence that have been like provoked along the lyrics they speak of,
and the lyrics,
yeah, I just think it's due to again racism and the early of how African Americans started in America. I just think that since we were born in a violent or just negative due to the segregation, everything, just to that type of environment that it kind of lingered throughout generations. So,
wow, that's interesting.
mm-hmm.
You know that when rap music started, it was very nice and very positive, and it seemed to go downhill after that. And I began to think that our young people were being programmed to be negative, debating.
Yeah, one of the things, and I'm glad you spoke on it in the way that you did, is that, as Theo said, it began as more or less party music, and then it became educational or conscious, as they would say, or woke. That's what they're saying now, right? And then the major industries, because there's like maybe 5 major labels or organizations that run the industry, and then you have just smaller independent people. But one of the things about it is that, as Theo used the word program, it's intentional. Basically, I mean, we're being, let's say, programmed in terms of how our culture is through the rap music, but the general culture of America is also programmed too, which is why they could believe in T. Rump as president, because there's a programming and indoctrination and assimilation. All of this is meant to guide the people's minds. I was looking at something yesterday, as a matter of fact, last night, and it was saying it's a very wise man named Noam Chomsky, and what he spoke on was how deliberately commercials, because I use this example because I did a piece called Pavlov's Dog, which, as some of you may know, Pavlov was a scientist who programmed the dog to respond to certain trigger impulses. Like if you rang a bell, then he would know that he was hungry, and he kept doing it. But why I say that is that with society, what's happened is that everything is meant, they have the nice little family with the white picket fence. All that's to set a certain mindset, and people don't think for themselves anymore as much as they're being led to think a certain way. So when you were saying that, and particularly with the culture, our culture, they taken the most negative things of our culture to put in front of us, because they could put other things in front of us. We all know that. They made the choice. It's deliberate, and it's deliberately meant to. So what would you listen to in terms of music, since rap is not really...
I'm a fan of old music. Yeah. I listen to
old music?
Such as?
Such as... I really don't know.
You know it when you hear it, huh? Do you know much about Motown? The music that came from that company?
Yeah, Motown, it was a name to refer to this city, since it was mostly like with motor and cars. So,
Right. And the gentleman named his company after that. And it became a very positive name all around the world, you know. They have Stevie Wonder, who's a singer there, you know. Oh, we got a caller on the phone. Let's see.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air.
No, I wasn't trying to be on the air. I'm sorry. I was just trying to listen to I was trying to support a family member.
I was just trying to listen. Oh okay.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear when you're not on the line?
Can you hear the program? Oh, where's she?
I don't know.
Can
Seems
you-
like they stepped away from the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. She's the one that listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Stevie Wonder. Do you know him as a singer?
I believe so.
Maybe Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows Michael.
Yeah. I brought him up because he's a little bit more contemporary. Even though he's passed away, he's more contemporary for your age. Even though he may have even passed before you were born, but his legend and his legacy lives on. So now I'm curious, do you have any hobbies that you like to do?
Yes, thank you for like I thank you for asking that. Yes, I do have hobbies. Writing. Well, okay, so my hobbies would be considered writing, drawing, listening to music. That's where most of my fun fact. That's where most of my inspirations and just inspirations to writing and drawing, not to the lyrics, not by the lyrics, but just by the tunes, because I'm a big fan of the rhythm, the tunes, and it's just like how, like what it influenced. So yeah, but the biggest hobby of all, studying. Yes.
Oh, and that is why she's a 3.9 GPA. How about that? Accepted into high school, and you say Yale has some information.
Yeah, Yale is one of the colleges accepted on one of the pages. But yeah.
Wow.
Y'all hear that? This is what we do with our youth when we really dedicate ourselves to them. We have another guest coming on who also does that with his children. So, you know, this is what we're trying to do. We have to plant the right seeds, expose them to the right things in order for them to do the right thing. I mean, it all goes hand in hand. And if there's no input from the parent, let's say which is immediate, but then the extended family. So we start with the nuclear family, we go to the extended family, but everyone's supposed to or should have an input into what we're trying to do. You nourish your seed. Once you put it in the ground, that's not good enough. You must nourish it with love, with attention, the type of things that inspire. And I would say also that you want to be an inspiration yourself. So by setting an example, I'm sure that there's different people that you've seen in your life that you say, wow, you know, I admire what they're doing. And those things, because you had mentioned, used the word inspiration before. So can you say who may have, you know, among anyone that, you know, it could be a teacher, it could be a neighbor, whomever, but are there any people that inspire you, maybe historical figures?
That's a great question. I'm just gonna go bland and said a teacher has inspired me because a couple years ago I wouldn't say I haven't really looked at the problems at Detroit, but ever since I met this teacher, a ELA teacher, Miss Ramirez. Anyways, ever since I met her, and how she's spoken out about things and basically produced spotlight onto those problems like food deserts, racism, and just she inspired me to make a change. Yep. I love you, Miss Ramirez. I just had to say that.
And she has encouraged you to be aware of your surroundings, the people you come in contact, the neighborhood where you live, the school you attend, and all of that, because it all makes a big difference on how you view life. and how you want to make a change for the better. Oh, okay. Okay. We got callers for you.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Let me do this. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello?
They're listening to, I guess.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. 734. Area code. I see you here. Don't hear you, though.
Wow. Okay.
Hello, caller. Yeah. Hello, caller. You are on the air, but we don't hear you.
I don't know what's going on with my connection.
Okay, we hear you now.
We hear you.
Okay. Hey, how you doing? My name's Israel. I'm with the Center of Pan-African Studies. I was called.
Okay, I was going to say, if you go ahead if you want one for our guest, but the brother who's going to be our next guest at 9:30 is the director of Pan-African Studies, so he'll be on at 9:30.
Okay. Oh, 9:30. Yeah, I was calling in support of my brother.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, call back at 9:30, brother, and we'll be able to get you in with him.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Now, I wanted to ask you, when you write, because I'm a writer too, but I know there's so many different titles that writers have. Now, me, myself, I'm more of a lyricist, and I'm also I would say a poet. But I can't do short stories or novels.
Yeah, I can't do that at all.
Okay.
It's just like, it's a desire, like it's an urge. Like all my teachers and all my friends can agree, but when I write something, it can't be just a paragraph. It ends up with me writing an entire essay. So, yep.
She writes essays.
Yeah. I had to look up essay in the book about a month ago because I say, well, I did them in school, but I don't know what I was doing. I just did what I was told. I still don't know what an essay is. What is an essay? Matter of fact?
You don't know?
No. I mean, there's a lot to.
I mean, this is just my view on essays. It's just what they teach in school is kind of like debate, but you're making a claim. Like, it's a long paragraph. Are you talking about its structures?
I need the base, the foundation of, if I'm writing an essay, is it about a topic, and then as I express that topic, is
a topic sentence, your claim, your evidence, your reasoning. It's just, and there's going to be like at least 3 body paragraphs. So.
Okay, you gotta have at least 3 paragraphs. Okay, well, that's a start for me. Maybe I'll write an essay.
I mean, it's actually fun for me. You know.
That's wonderful. It really is.
I have to say, she reminds me of my granddaughter. She's 13, my granddaughter's 16, and they're both in the 3.0 plus category, and you remind me a lot of her, just your mannerisms and those kind of things, which I think is helping keep me young and abreast of what's going on in generations that I have not lived through, but I am living with. So one of the things, like when you mentioned hobbies, so when you do like art, is it nature art? Is it facial art, or does it just cover a lot of areas?
Cartoon art? What kind of art?
I do facial art. Also with nature. But yeah. The recent I done is just a silly cat. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just a silly cat.
A silly cat. And does your silly cat have a name?
His name is gonna be Little Billy. Yep.
Little Billy. Okay.
And then there's gonna be another, his twin. Her name's gonna be Little Lily.
Oh, Little Lily. Okay.
Lily and Billy. I like that.
Yeah, right. And you know, the animals these days are getting to be kind of funny. I have a family member who has a dog that steals coffee. Oh. If you leave your coffee, he likes coffee. And I have another family member who has a cat, and the cat likes tea. I don't know how either of those things came about, but they did.
Are you sure they're animals?
Oh.
Reincarnated.
Wait now. There's a question.
Yeah.
Reincarnation. I don't think about that. Wow.
Well, I was just thinking you say the dog like coffee?
Yeah.
Well, dogs are hyper, and tea kind of cools you out, right? It's a chill drink.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's why the cat's doing the tea. They're very interesting to me.
Oh, wow. Have you had an opportunity to try out herbal teas or, some kinds of health food items? Have you read about that or tried it?
No. Not drinks, but foods. I would say pomegranate.
Ah, pomegranates are extremely healthy for you as well. Well, now we're at the end of our interview with you, and I am so pleased that you had time to be with me today and to come on with us today. And I want to say that I'm extremely proud of all that you are acquiring and with the knowledge and being able to determine between what you think is positive, what you think is negative, and not mind sharing it. So I want to thank you so very, very much. And
I was going to say you're a very excellent guest. You're also an inspiration. And as far as I'm concerned, a role model for other youth your age, even above and below. And not only that, you're an inspiration for us older folks too, because you never stop. You should never stop learning just because you are not in school. So those of you who are 60 and older want to go to school for free at Wayne County Community College District, go online, wccd.edu, and enroll, because this young lady is the future, but we also have to pave the way.
That's right. And I want to say to my great-granddaughter, thank you so much for being with me. And we are going to pause for the cause, and we'll be back momentarily. This has been amazing.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
I've always been a runner, but I've never run from anything, and neither has my city.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir!
Amen. It's something special to protect the people closest to you, the ones you've known all your life, your neighbors, your friends. I was born in this city, and I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. That's why I wear the shield.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. And we are back with our next guest, Dennis Boatwright, and he's been with us several times, and we're excited that you have joined us again this morning.
And we're going to, as we usually do, first I want to introduce Mr. Boatwright as the director of the Center for Pan-African Studies. And then as we like to ask, I guess, who is Dennis Boatwright?
Well, Dennis Boatwright, well, first I'd like to say good morning to everybody. And, thank you for having me on your show again. And I also want to compliment you that I love this show. This show is fire, especially this morning. We had a young scholar come up here, sister, that is really reflects how all of the negative underfunding of our schools that they attend, yet she's still able to achieve a 3.9 grade point average, which is fantastic. And also, we have Sister Shoshana here. She's lined up. I see she's ready to go. And then we have one of the biggest fans of Marcus Garvey over there. So you have a big lineup. But me personally, I'm the director of the Center for Pan-African Studies, a think tank based here in Detroit, Michigan. And we do research and development, but not just only, we just don't offer analysis. We also be boots on the ground, whereas we were fortunate by the mercy of our Creator to be able to establish diplomatic ties directly with African countries as well as their embassies. So that's just in a nutshell what the Center for Pan-African Studies do.
And maybe before we get into a deeper conversation, what's the contact information? Because I want you all to be able to write it down now, and he'll repeat this information later in the show. But if you got your pen and paper handy, he's going to give you information on how to contact the Center for Pan-African Studies.
Yes, thank you. You can go by telephone 313-431-3704. That's 313-431-3704. Email address director@Center for Pan-African Studies. Email address that's director@Center for Pan-African Studies.org. We have a website. Lastly, we have a website that you could go to and get some of the things that I'm about to talk about today at www.centerforpanafricanstudies.org. That's centerforpanafricanstudies.org. And thank you for allowing me to put that information out there.
And if you didn't have your pen and paper ready, then he's going to repeat that again before 10 o'clock. So get ready, because one of the things that this brother has really exposed me to, I try to keep up with things that are going on in the motherland, but I didn't really know about the Sahel states, which are Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and how they are breaking away from neo-colonialism. And this brother has got, I guess, what they would be in the vanguard in terms of trying to enlighten our people to that. And he recently was at the United Nations and spoke. So I want you to kind of give us an overview of what your experience was there.
It was a fascinating experience, not just so for me, but I can imagine, because there's a rise in African consciousness that's going on globally, and we can actually feel it. And I sometimes, what makes me smile, because I know that Dr. John Henry Clark, I know that Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, they are smiling in their grave, because what's happening in the African world is exactly what they wanted. So I was just fortunate enough to somehow people called me and wanted me to testify in the United Nations General Assembly, where they had some heads of states, foreign minister, and a variety of NGOs. And I was shocked because I only had like a 2 day to prepare for it, but you have to be ready. I've been ready for this moment, and I went there, and they said, we want you here because we don't want it to be like we sipping tea and it's, having donuts. We want somebody that's going to wake us up. So, I went there for that purpose. I had 2 minutes and I took advantage of it by, mentioning our ancestors and how, people like Chokwe Lumumba and all of these great people, this is what they want. And it's finally happening. And it just, I just informed the General Assembly that what's going on in Africa should have happened a long time ago, and it's finally happening. And just let people know, because if you look at my speech, most of the people, they was pretty boo-hooing in their testimony. I couldn't wait to talk. And I had some Algerian Arabs, good people who they say they're Africans, good people, and they said, we got to record this, because I was telling them, and I had to tell people, cheer up, Africa is awakening. You act like we're talking about a famine or something, Ethiopia. We're talking about African liberation that's actually happened. So that was my message, and when I got finished, so many people came, gave me their contact information, but that was just the occasion of it. I was invited there to speak at the General Assembly, which was an honor, and I had to let them know, yep, I'm from Detroit too, so I'm not going to be nice.
Right. Yeah, and one of the things I have to say with that is that, like I noticed he has a book of Thomas Sankara, who I believe was the leader before, not the leader before Ibrahim Traore, but he had the same mindset in terms of Africa. And I actually, let me say this to you all: if you start Googling things, but even more so on YouTube, you start looking at things, you'll be surprised at how much related information will come to you. Because I did get a hit where it showed 25 different African leaders who were assassinated. And they say that the French were primarily behind those assassinations. But we know that this government also has been instrumental in eliminating any type of unity on the continent. I mean, that's their goal. The fact that there's so many raw resources and materials that they can use to pretty much take care of their industrial societies, they have to come to Africa. Matter of fact, everything they really need, Africa has always been known, I've been studying this since the 70s, has always been the breadbasket of the world. And so, I mean, not that other countries don't produce things, but when you need things that are substantive, Africa seems to be, which is why neocolonialism still exists. Let's just be real on that. So, recently, I want you to tell them about Brother Boatwright had a gathering at Hart Plaza in support, and this was going on nationwide, matter of fact, worldwide, in support of the Mali leader, Ibrahim Traore. And tell us what that experience was.
It was a fascinating experience, and I just want to add, I was, people say, Dennis, you take stuff too personal. My wife, he said, when she traveled with me, Miss Sade Boatwright, she said, you act like slavery just happened yesterday or something, because I'm so intense by it. But to me, it was a great moment to have that, to show African solidarity, because as you mentioned, Thomas Sankara, who was the prime minister, or which was called Opal Volta, but he changed it to Burkina Faso. And what happened, and what's unique about him, he one of the last African heroes that was running a country that would make Dr. Amos Wilson or Dr. Claude Anderson very happy. And he was killed in 1987. So people say that they believe that Ibrahim Traore, who's only 37 years old, he is a manifestation of Thomas Sankara. I say this to say that I was talking to the owner of Sankofa Bookstore in Washington, D.C., Haley Garima, and he told me something interesting, like at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was in D.C. after all the patrons left. He said, Dennis, don't worry about it. You're trying to do a lot, and that's good, but you're going to stress yourself out. He said, there's always going to be another Malcolm X. There's always going to be another Nat Turner. He said, in fact, there were some Nat Turners before Nat Turner. Right. So, and, we see that in a young sister up there who may be a next Sada Sakura or a Sonia Sanchez. So I say this to say, we seeing a manifestation of what Kwame Nkrumah and Sequoia Toure was trying to do in the 60s. We see it in a young strong African leader in the leader of Burkina Faso, whose name is Ibrahim Traore. So we, in solidarity, we actually had the embassy call us because they kind of, for some reason, they feel like I'm the guy on Burkina Faso, and they were saying, I know Detroit is going to do something. So I had to organize something in 36 hours, and it was fortunate that we had the spirit of Detroit. We had some Malcolm X grassroots movement. We had the UNIA. We had Detroit Food Co-op with Malik Yakini. We had so many people, and it was a kind of almost like a mini local Pan-African conference, because what I saw at that rally that was even bigger than Burkina Faso is that Detroit organizations, we talking now, we hugging each other, we love each other, we're promoting each other, and that's one of the blessings of Africa, because as Africa gets itself up, it's gonna heal us, not the other way around. Right. And we had that rally, and we had a nice turnout, and we were just blessed to be able to do something positive for Africa.
We've got a couple of callers. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Okay, we're going to go to the next caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? And I want to tell all the callers, don't listen to your television because there's a delay. Listen to your phone. You're on the air, caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Well, we're going to continue on. And as I said before, when you call in, don't listen. Once you're on the phone, listen to the phone because there is a delay. And if you're listening to television, you'll be 30 seconds behind what we're trying to accomplish. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Share with us your name.
Greetings. My name is Houston Laredo Hines.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
I was calling. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, share with us. Go ahead.
Speak. Yeah, I wanted to say, my thoughts on these things is that, I've been following this whole thing. I've done the whole 23andMe, African ancestry, and I found out myself that, I belong to Burkina Faso. And, it touched me personally because, here it is, I found my ancestral roots, which goes back to Burkina Faso, the Busanga people. And, to hear America, I don't even call him General, Michael Langley, that guy. To me, he's a slave. But when I listen to, their supposed, democracy on, spreading their democracy around the world and stuff like that, I'm always looking and hearing what they're saying, but I don't see it. I don't see the transparency with the people. Here it is, the people of Africa has a voice, and you sideline it, and then you say, oh yeah, this is all in the name of democracy. And it's clearly showing to us that you've never demonstrated any of these laws that you've implemented on us. All these laws that you've created, you don't even follow them yourself. And that, for me, it touched me personally because it made me upset that I here it is, I found my ancestral roots that America stole me from. The Dutch actually stole me from there, but they took me to America and my ancestor in Virginia. And when they did, they committed genocide against us. So they never paid for these crimes. So who gave you the right to go around the world spreading this lie of democracy? It it touched me in so many ways that, it brought out a lot of anger, but I had to, try to compose myself and understand how I can be more valuable to my brothers and sisters, like Detroit, like here it is, Detroit, rally, and I wanted to rally myself, but I'm a truck driver, so I'm out on the road. I'm always on the road, and I loved it that, all of our people around the world gathered together to, put these tyrants in their place, all this slander and lies, it's like a snake with two tongues, with a tongue that's, a split in the center of it. Here it is, you're mad about China.
Yeah, it's been said by the Native American that they speak with forked tongue for sure.
Yes, they do. Here it is, you speak of human rights, but what about your human rights record? Yourself. What about your human rights record? America or France, little France, I call them. What about your human rights? It's never been right. You here it is in France. A lot of people don't even know some of the history that they try to hide. But here it is in France. You actually had were conducting atomic bombs where you were blowing up atomic bombs. And did you let people know that you actually had black people, black soldiers in the vicinity of it so that you can be able to see what happened to a human? Did you let them know that? Did you let them know that in Senegal that you actually, after World War II, you actually executed the very people from Senegal that helped you win the war? Did you let them know that?
Right. Now, do you have a question for our guest, Dennis Boatwright, the guest this morning? Do you have a question for him?
My question, I guess, if it is a question, I guess, is that when can we have some type of party to go back to some type of party like not a Democratic party or, but something of a party that we can be able to, cause I don't vote Republican or Democrat no more. These are lies. And now I've found out that us black people, we need to create our own, party and not under these lies anymore.
Well, like the Republicans said, there is one that's coming about, and that's the coffee party. And you'll be hearing more about that. And you got pen and paper, I'll give you a phone number where you can find out about it. Because we have to participate. In this country is where that setup of voting makes a difference. You may not like politics and you don't want to be in politics, but I tell you, politics is in you, and it determines all of the things that go on in this country. So the telephone number is 313-598-5105. 598-5105 is 313 area code. Now the question to you, Dennis, is when can we?
No, go ahead.
Can you say that number one more time?
Yes, 313-598-5105. It's about the coffee party. It's the opposite of what the Tea Party was doing. It's a positive organization and opportunity for our people to come together and work together for a better country.
And we want to thank you for your call. We have another caller on the line, but Theo has a question for our guest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you hear his question?
Yes, I heard his question.
Thank
you for that question.
Sure.
Alternative party, with Dr. John Henry Clark, he said Pan-Africanism or Paris. That's our party in itself.
And give that number for people who want to participate.
Yeah, and you can contact 313-431-3704 for that.
Give it again.
313-431-3704. And also as a demand, when the demand comes for an alternative party, we will respond. And what we're doing right now is, as African consciousness start to rise, what's happening also is bringing like-minded thinkers and people together.
Yes.
Once that happened,
Yes.
me and Shoshana and Thabiti and Miss Theo and Malik Yakini, we're going to put it in the UNIA and all of them. We're gonna get together and we're gonna figure out what we need to do.
Absolutely.
But first, prior to that, and sometimes we got to be patient, because we only can move when there's demand for certain things. When the callers and other people, y'all put pressure on us, we're gonna respond. But we kind of like getting that like that because it's in the air, and I can believe perhaps in a few months or so we'll get ourselves together and figure out what direction we need to go in. But you're right. The Democratic Party, I always describe Democrats and Republicans. It's sort of like the good cop or the bad cop. The good cop is still a cop, and they on the same team. So that's really exactly what happens to us. And we starting to see that in all of their policies. You look at if you take a look at the economic indicators of all of them, whether it was Kennedy or whoever, George Bush, you will see that we're never going to be above 3% of the wealth of this country. In fact, Dr. Claude Anderson said it's actually 0.3% of this country wealth when you take into account all them big old mortgages and high car notes that we have to do, insurance premiums. So we starting to realize that both of them are on the same page. Like Malcolm X said. What did he say? One, Shoshana, he said that one was a wolf and the other one was a fox. Yeah. The dynamics never change, and I'm happy that people can really see through that, because when you look at Donald Trump, he's just symptomatic of a racist type of thinking that has been under the radar, actually been getting away with it. So people seeing through that, and it's starting to crumble. They had the gig is up.
The gig is up.
We have another caller.
Oh, okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air.
Hi. I didn't want to really be on the air. I just wanted to thank you and Dennis Boatwright for, giving out this information.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening and calling. And there's still time to share with other people that we're on the air and let them know so they can hear this very dynamic brother as well. And we appreciate your call.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, what's, let's say, in the near future for the Center for Pan-African Studies?
In the near future for the Center for Pan-African Studies, we're actually, I will be going to New York. I'll be there Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it for the Malcolm X event celebration that they have, but I was invited there to do research at the Schomburg Center. With Dr. John Henry Clark and the rest of them in Harlem. I got to go there for 2 days. I got a brother flying in from L.A. And then actually, that the day after that, on Sunday, I got invited with A. Peter Bailey, which is one of the co-founders of OAAU. He's still alive in D.C., and he want me to be there with him at Howard University. So, but with the Center for Pan-African Studies, in a nutshell, we're trying to connect people of African descent, whether you're in the Caribbean, whether you on a continent, whether you in Detroit or Chicago, because that's our strength. And what I've learned is that recently, as you brought up, Africa is the breadbasket of the world. Not only that, you wouldn't have that cell phone. We wouldn't have all of those rechargeable electrical tools, no Tesla battery had it not been the cobalt in the Congo. So Africa is very significant. And we know that China has 1.3 billion people, 1.4 billion people, but yet Africa is known as China's breadbasket. In other words, Africa has the power to put China on a diet if you really want to. I'm not saying it's going to do that. And did you know the Niger, what it's uranium, it provides 50% of Europe's electricity from the uranium. In other words, we are the DTE of Europe. We could turn their lights off.
I like
so it is very important. We are very significant. And lastly, I want to say, and this is why I'm happy this little young sister here. If you notice, as Africa is raising its head up high, the confidence, we got black leaders that are not begging people for anything.
Right.
But at the same time, we see groups that don't. I haven't seen. You seem like every week there's a new black anti-African group. No, they don't want to be nothing. They don't want to be dealing with Africa. And I tell them this. I say, you know what? I say, some of the African Americans are while everybody's running to Africa, y'all want to go the other way and run from Africa. What sense does that make? Even politically, diplomatically, and economic, what sense does that make? Whereas you don't, how are you going to get resources? The United States is not going to give you that. They're going to keep giving you, denying you bank loans and, grants that they give whites, So my thing is, Africa is on the rise. And I tell people this, and one person in synagogue, they say, you need to put that on the shirt. I have never felt so good of being black right now. I mean, I feel like I'm in 1963, with Stokely Carmichael, around the original founders of the Republic of New Africa.
Right.
I feel like that now because I've always been an advocate of Africa, but I ain't really had nothing too much to brag about. I had to go all the way to the first dynasty with Pharaoh Namur and
instead of what's going on today.
Right now, I got somebody to talk about. I got something to brag about. Actually, a lot to brag about now.
Absolutely.
So this is the time.
And
for
we're
us.
looking forward to you coming back to share some additional information. I have really appreciated what you have shared with us this morning. And give us the contact number for you again, because we got to go to our break.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
313-431-3701. Email director@centerforpanafricanstudies.org.
Well, thank you so much, Dennis Boatwright. You want to?
No, I was wondering, is that the website or the email?
That's the email address. The website is centerforpanafricanstudies.org. You can also advertise on there. So I got to put the Malcolm X grassroots on there and other little business, because we getting right now on that website. I think we got like 8,500 visitors, and my wife be like, you don't take that. You be getting on TikTok 100,000 views, and you acting like that's normal. I don't know what views is, and all of this. But my wife said, honey, you need to start taking this stuff serious, because I had showed my son. I got a son that's 9 years old. He get my phone and stuff, and I gave it to him. He said, oh my God. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, you got 100K. I said, what did that mean? What is that about? So they know stuff that I don't know. I'm 55 years old. Some people think I'm younger because of my spirit, but I'm going to start taking stuff more seriously.
All right. Well, as James Brown would say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And we're at the bottom of the hour. Thank you so much for being with us. And we will be back momentarily.
The PJ Collection. High tops. Slip-ons. Sweatshirts. Drink flasks. The PJ Collection. Available now at claudrianjackson.tv.
Hi, I'm Eric Sabria, your Wayne County Treasurer. If you're living in a home of a deceased family member and you're facing property tax foreclosure, the probate process can be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome our first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit ombudsman.
I've always been a runner, but I've never run from anything, and neither has my city.
Do you want to be a Detroit police officer?
Sir, yes, sir. Amen.
It's something special to protect the people closest to you, the ones you've known all your life, your neighbors, your friends. I was born in this city, and I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. That's why I wear the shield.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. All right, and take us along with you. Always remember that. And you can also get us on YouTube for replay. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I don't pretend to be a techie, but today we have, we always say it's either feast or famine. Today has been a big, wonderful feast. And now we have Shoshana and we have Tahira with us. And we want to talk about some serious stuff right now. Who wants to start?
Well, I'm going to just say happy belated Mother's Day. We bring revolutionary greetings to all of you. We've coming right after such an inspirational show with Theo's granddaughter, Megan, who, as a former teacher, I would give her an A++. And then our young brother, Brother Boatwright, the director of the Center for Pan-African Studies. Oh my God. See, I worry. He said his wife told him to quit worrying like slavery is still here today. But I worry every day about who are we going to leave this, our generation? Who are we going to leave this to? Who is going to do the work? Right? And when this brother came on, and I already know the brother, but it's like he said, Mama Shoshana, it's okay. We got this. So the work that the brother is doing with Pan-Africanism and Burkina Faso leader and everything, I just applaud him.
Oh, yeah.
But we're here today to just talk about a couple of things, and I'm going to let Ms. Tahira do an intro on the press conference that's coming up for the Coalition for Property Tax Justice, and I'll step in.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Happy Mother's Day. You are the mother of our movement. Thank you for all your work, and Brother Thabiti as well. We're going to be having a press conference. As you know, Professor Bernadette Atuahene has helped founded the organization Coalition for Property Tax Justice. And what we've been doing is going to the treasurer, Eric Sabree, the city of Detroit, and the people who write the assessor's office to stop them from illegally overtaxing our properties. Detroit has been illegally overtaxed $600 million to $1 billion, and it's ongoing. 100,000 homes have been illegally foreclosed, and they're still doing it. So what we've been doing as a coalition for property tax justice, we have been appealing people's property taxes for them. We've also appealed to Eric Sabree to stop the foreclosures, because we, as a property tax appeals and the property tax reform ordinance that was passed by the city of Detroit, states that you have to, that ordinance says you have to appeal the taxes for Detroiters more so than us individually doing it, make it a law, that you have to stop overtaxing 95% of the lowest income homes, 50,000 and below. They've been doing that, still overtaxing us. You have to do a study. It's called the IAAO study, which will do the study about if the homes are still being illegally overtaxed. And they are. They finally released the study. According to the law, the property reform ordinance, they finally released it a year and 2 days late.
Now, who released the study?
The city of Detroit finally released it, but we were going to the University of Chicago to do the study and showing the city council and the mayor that we're being illegally overtaxed. The IAAO is an international organization that studies assessments, property tax assessments worldwide.
Can you tell us what IAAO represents?
The International, Assessment Authority, or
I don't have that.
International Assessment Authority.
Oh, okay.
And what they've been doing is helping us by giving us the study early, because the city of Detroit refused to do that. Mike Douglas. See, all of this is Professor Bernadette Atuahene. She wrote this book, Plundered. Detroit is the main subject in her book. Okay. She looks at two families, a black family that owns homes in Detroit, and how those homes were assessed. And Robert Ficano's family. And his homes, they weren't over-assessed. So the lowest value homes in Detroit have been illegally over-assessed.
Okay. Now, how does a person determine that is happening to them. You just get a tax bill. There's no
Right.
explanation on the tax bill. You owe summer tax XXX. You owe winter tax XXX. But they never say on there, you owe summer tax because or winter tax because. Oh, okay.
Well,
So
they've
how
been
does
getting
it-
well, you'll get an assessment, a yellow paper in the mail that'll show you that you know that it looks like this right here. It's a little yellow piece of paper that you get in, each homeowner gets in the mail.
Yeah, hold it
Supposed
up,
to
sir.
get.
Hold up, so everybody
Okay.
can see it real good.
Oh, yeah, you can't see that.
Yeah. Okay.
The assessments.
Yeah.
But let me say a little bit to that, Ms. Tahir. So the Coalition for Property Tax Justice, every year before the Board of Review of the City of Detroit's appeal, people can appeal their tax assessments every year, right?
Okay.
So the coalition will do it for free for most people, right? And we have a calculation where we'll put your property address in there, and we'll compare. It's like a comparative market value calculation. We'll compare your property, what is being assessed, to what your neighbor's property is being assessed. That's one factor. Then another factor is we will look at the condition of your home, the condition of the neighborhood, and we'll look at the most recent prices that the homes in your neighborhood similar to your home was sold for, right? And then that will tell the coalition whether you're being overassessed. And if we determine that you're being overassessed, then we will represent you for free at the Board of Review Appeals hearing that just happened in March, where we represented over 200 Detroit homeowners, right? And we're still waiting for the results from the Board of Review as to their decisions. But there's still one more step if they, which they're not very generous in recent years, in deciding for the homeowner, then the homeowner can go one more step to the Michigan State Tribunal. And that's their last appeal that they can do for the year. However, you can go the following year. But I just want to say this to your listening audience, Theo, is that's why, you know, the election is coming up. Who you vote for city council, who you vote for.
It's urgent.
Who you vote for mayor. This is why. Okay, you know, our brother Boatwright is talking about things that are happening nationally and worldwide, and we have to pay attention to that. You mentioned an alternative party, Coffee. Brother Boatwright and I both participated in the early planning by Mayor Baraka's son, Raz Baraka, and my nephew, Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba, and Fumi, the great musician. These brothers had gotten together and they had started planning an agenda oh my goodness, where's the city that Michael Jackson and them came from? Indiana. Okay, thank you. See, I'm having one of those moments. But, you know, back in the 70s, Mayor Young represented, you know, people from Detroit to go there. People all over the country went there to decide on a third party. They are sick and tired of the Democrats and the Republicans. So that was a really big deal. So these brothers said, we're going to start this, you know, we're going to start a third party. So they put that on hold. Unfortunately, Brother Mfumu and Toomey died at the time, and now both of these brothers, and I'm going a little bit out the way. Theo, please just indulge me for a minute. But both of these young mayors are in trouble, and hopefully Mayor Baraka will be okay. But they just arrested him the other day. ICE. arrested him and members of Congress, okay? Because they were going to check out a detention facility where they're keeping, the people come over the border, and they heard that this place was inhumane, and they doing their legal duty, right? So they go in to check it out, and they go target Mayor Baraka and take him down. ICE did this to him and took him to jail. Right? Yes, they did.
And that's why it's important to vote. And then you said that. And I'm glad you mentioned that because we got people who are running for mayor in the city of Detroit.
So I'm going to finish. My nephew is also in a lot of trouble, and we can come back to that because it's going to take a minute. Mayor Lumumba, Chokwe Lumumba from Jackson, Mississippi. But back to the point Ms. Tahira is reminding me about in my senior moments, the city council and the mayor. We're talking about $600 $1 million was stolen from Detroit homeowners.
Right.
They stole that money. They won't give it back
because it was based on racially. That's why Professor Bernadette Tuahini's book is so important because she shows that this is racist. Right. It's on purpose. Right. That's why they won't follow the law, the property tax reform ordinance. Okay. And we also want people to call Eric Sabri's office because he's about to foreclose on homes that are illegally overassessed.
Can you give his number?
I don't have his number on here, but you can call.
But we're having
the coalition.
The coalition is having a press conference this Thursday. That's what we want everybody to come out to the main library. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib will be there with Dr. Ibram X. Kendi. Okay, right. And they will be speaking on the issue of racial justice and specifically the foreclosures that's getting ready to happen on these properties.
Wait now, the date and time again. The date
May 16th, Friday, May 16th.
Friday, May 16th.
At the Detroit 3:15.
3:15 in the afternoon. Friday, May 16th.
At the main library.
3:15.
Okay, 3
o'clock Friday. 3 o'clock Friday, May 16th at the main library, which is on Woodward Avenue, just a bit north of Warren. It's between Kirby and Putnam.
Yeah. Right. So.
Now, there was a question that I had. The BD, would you please research the telephone number for the Wayne County?
Eric Sabri.
Eric Sabri.
Okay. So we want everyone to please come out and make that as successful, as Brother Boatwright's recent protest at Hart Plaza.
Yes, I was there.
We got to stay on top of the people and all these injustices, but back to the mayor and the city council.
Yes.
This injustice that has occurred with overtaxing property owners, right? You heard Sister Tahira say that the city council created an ordinance to try to improve that situation and stop it from occurring. But they're not even enforcing their own ordinance
and law.
They're not enforcing it. And not only that, Mayor Duggan came out and acknowledged, Detroiters were overtaxed $600 million.
But he stopped the study.
He said, but nothing we can do about it.
Yep.
Okay.
224-5990. That's area code 313.
Right. And he said, Duggan said, it didn't happen on my watch. It didn't start on his watch. That's what he meant. Because it's happening right now today.
And it's been happening since he's been elected.
But so what? You took $600 million out of the city. I don't care. You in charge now. It don't matter.
Exactly.
So what you going to do about it? You took that money, the city. Now give it back.
From
And
now.
we're there all the time asking them to give the money back. But we sit there, Miss Tahir more than I, she is very loyal and dedicated at going to those city council hearings. And while we're sitting there, the Coalition for Property Tax Justice, asking for some reparations and compensation for the $600 million, guess who they giving it to? Illich, Gilbert, and all the rest of these billionaires. They're giving them 600, 500 million at a whop. And then they don't have anything to give the people who are paying their salaries, who voted them in. So now this is where I'm going to end this. When you vote for city council and mayor this time, make sure you know who you're voting for.
Well, these are the people. This is what happened during the passing of the ordinance. We had our hometown heroes to initially pass the property tax reform ordinance. That was Angela Whitfield Callaway, Gabriela Santiago Romero, Mary Waters, Letitia Johnson, and Mary Sheffield. So we made this design to thank them for doing that. These are the crooks who prevented it. That is Coleman Young the second, Scott Benson infamously, James Tate infamously, and Fred Durhall III infamously. I'd like to say that Angela Whitfield Callaway has been in our corner as well as some others, but these other people, they haven't enforced the ordinance. They're laying low. Angela Whitfield Callaway is not laying low. You want to put her back. The rest of them, they're okay? You definitely don't want these guys on here. Don't vote for these people. Don't put them in office. They're going to continue doing the Duggan ripoff. And they've been ripping us off since 2009. We've been illegally overtaxed since 2009. You know, when Duggan came in office in 2012, so he talking about he had nothing to do with it. Yes, you did all this time. You've been doing it, and you've been preventing us from stopping you. So this is on purpose, because what it's called is gentrification. That's move the Negroes out of Detroit, and they're importing these illegal aliens and others until they were stopped by the voters that said, hey, stop letting all these people in, because what they did was take the properties that were illegally foreclosed for black people and took over those properties. Santiago Romero, all she's been doing is helping her people and helping them get in, so So we need your support at this press conference, everybody, if you can. And that's May 16th, Friday, at 3 p.m. at the main library on Woodward and Putnam.
Okay, now landmarks. The main library is across from the Detroit Institute of Arts. The main library is next door to the Historical Museum. And we give you some landmarks just in case you don't know where the main library is. Now I do have a question as it relates to the homeowner. What time frame do they have to take care of this? They get a tax bill and it's too high. What is their next step? What do they need to show to take to the assessors? Right. They should have all of their paperwork stapled together, copies of it. Right. So they can't lie and say,
Right. Yeah. Well, they, Ms. Tahir might want to add something, but they have most times sufficient time to appeal it.
Okay.
However, the assessor's office have been known to give out things at the last minute and then put a deadline on it. But as soon as you get that assessment, you have the right to call the assessor's office or go down there and talk to someone. Willie Donwell, the head of the Board of Review, has been pretty good in the past about talking to people. Hopefully he'll help. But and then you have the right as a homeowner to appeal that assessment.
And
And
you need an appointment, or you just walk in?
now I don't know how they do it down at the assessor's office. I would probably call before I go down there, and you can
call the Coalition for Property Tax Justice. We've been the one appealing. We've saved 13,000 homes from foreclosure. Can you imagine that? 13,000 homes would have been foreclosed if it wasn't for the Coalition for Property Tax Justice.
And I'm going to add, and with the help of Eric Sabree, this is why this press conference is so important.
Yes.
Wayne County, Eric Sabree, and the coalition has worked in somewhat in unison over the years in stopping the 13,000 homes from being foreclosed on. This time is different. Wayne County Treasurer Sabree says he's going to go forward with those foreclosures. So we're appealing to our brother, and that's a brother who I have a lot of respect for. Don't do this.
Right.
These people do not deserve to have their homes foreclosed on. And then you get what Mr. Here was talking about. You get all these interlopers, gentrification. You get these folks coming in, taking over. And Mary Waters, Councilwoman, I give her a lot of credit. She's pursuing something right now on
land
how land bank homes. How some guy wanted 20 homes. He's from out of the country.
Right.
He's buying these homes up. How are you just buying all these homes up?
These are our homes.
Right.
Okay, so what we want you also to know, public, we need you to call Eric Sabree. What's that number again, Brother Sabree?
313-224-5990.
Wow, what a mind.
313-224.
A memory is good.
5990.
Call him and tell him, please do not foreclose on these homes, because the study has shown that these homes are illegally assessed. It's not fair to these homeowners to be illegally foreclosed like this. And you already got the study. It's even from the city of Detroit has says that these people are being illegally foreclosed if you foreclose them, because 95% of the homes have been illegally assessed in Detroit. 95%. And the city's own study now has backed it up, even though it's a year and 2 days late.
Okay, so now
the appeal.
Now I want to know. Oh God, we're down to 2 minutes. Is there a phone number to call?
The coalition is area code 313-438-8698. That's
again
313-438-8698.
And you can go on Facebook to the Coalition for Property Tax Justice. And on that Facebook page, you can also write a letter to Eric Sabree automatically. And the number is there, information about the the study.
Oh, okay.
Theo, I needed to introduce this if I could. The Malcolm X celebration.
On Friday there's a Malcolm X celebration. Just location, time.
Okay. We have a 4-day celebration for Malcolm's 100th birthday. If Malcolm was still, he'd be here. He would be 100. On Friday, we're having the Malcolm X ball at Mama Imani Hall. That's upstairs from the People's Food Co-op on
Woodward and Euclid.
Right, Woodward and Euclid.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for being with us today. I always say at the end of the program, it's not necessary for you to know everything. Hey, tune in to Hood Research. And we seek out as much information as we can and have representatives here with us. Tune in again next Monday at 9 a.m. Peace. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinda.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback.